The dystopian future of Divinity, Nick Frost's Svalta wraps production, and the Elvira Show, all on this Monday edition of Spill the Guts.
I like it spooky.
Hello and welcome. My name is Clint, and I am one half of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast, who amongst its soon-to-be 19 free choices of informational and entertaining horror listening options each month, just released a new feature episode yesterday, showcasing an in-depth interview with award-winning director Sylvia Kaminer of Dolger Films, where we discuss her movie Follow Her. Today, however, we shall discuss some news, because today is Monday, November 13th, and this just in. Last Friday on Spill the Guts, I covered information on the 2007 film Botched with Stephen Dorff. First story today comes from iHorror.com with news about a current film with the star. Eddie Alcazar's sci-fi horror film Divinity, executive produced by Steve Soderbergh, has dropped its first red band trailer, and it's making waves. Premiering at both the Sundance Film Festival and the Taormina Film Festival, the film is now gearing up for a wider audience. The trailer, a mix of stop motion and live action, plunges viewers straight into its dystopian world. Central to the story is Jackson Pierce, the guardian of an immortality serum called Divinity. As two mysterious brothers target him, a key ally emerges in the form of a mysterious woman. The film's visuals are striking, using black and white tones reminiscent of 80s horror classics. It's clear from the trailer that Divinity doesn't hold back, showcasing intense scenes of body horror and scientific experiments. The plot is straightforward. Scientist Sterling Pierce creates the Divinity serum, aiming for immortality. Years later, his son Jackson controls it, but finds himself in danger from those wanting its power. The narrative promises intrigue, danger, and a quest for eternal life. With a cast featuring Stephen Dorff, Bella Thorne, Scott Bakula, and others, performances are expected to be top-notch. Given the combined talents of Alcazar and Soderbergh, the film is set to be a gripping watch, and you can view the trailer now over at the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast Facebook page.
From director Eddie Alcazar comes a new cult masterpiece in science fiction terror.
It's next level.
Divinity. Now showing at a theater near you.
Next up from Fangoria.com is a report that it's been over a year since we've heard anything about Svalta, the serial killer thriller from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz star Nick Frost. But even while there's no news as of yet on a release date, there has been an official announcement that XYZ Films, Wayward Entertainment, and Resolute Films have wrapped production on the film after shooting in Finland. Written by Frost and directed by Stefan Hars, who brought us New Kids Turbo, the synopsis reads, Svalta follows a family on their summer vacation to a remote island where they discover a serial killer is on the loose. Unfortunately for them, the locals have no interest in helping the stranded family. Speaking with Deadline previously, Frost teased some of the chaos that we assume the chilly Svalta, whose title is taken from the fictional island, will bring. Quote, take a gentle English family and send them on holiday to a tiny island full of maniacs. Simple. Not so much nuts and may, more nuts and mayhem. Speaking of nuts and mayhem, it's that time once again to pause for station identification and hear from our podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Last story of the day is another one from iHorror.com about the failed Elvira sitcom from the 90s. The mistress of the dark Elvira may be remembered for her movies, but did you also know she had a show on the boob tube? And not the one where she hosted and commented on bad horror movies. That's right, our lovely horror hostess made a pilot for television aptly titled The Elvira Show back in the early 90s, which didn't get picked up by a network. However, you can watch it on YouTube. The premise of the show was simple. Two women, Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, and her Aunt Minerva, played by the legendary Katherine Hellman, are witches who live together in a house. Problems arise when a strange young lady named Paige, Phoebe Augustine, arrives on their doorstep claiming to be a long-lost relative. Her timing is terrible because Elvira is being investigated for consumer fraud after one of her love potions appears not to work. It's a silly concept, but other shows such as Bewitched and Sabrina the Teenage Witch followed the same kind of concept, and they were hits. Elvira's show even had the talking cat. The Elvira Show contains the star's trademark humor, i.e., quote, opportunity only gives you knockers once, and her Valley Girl-inspired caricature. It's a wonder why the show never got picked up, because there were some big names behind it. Peter Boners, yes, that's his real name, who directed the pilot, was the creative force behind many classic sitcoms like The Bob Newhart Show and Alf. He would eventually go on to direct Friends and Home Improvement. Well, thankfully the show has been archived on YouTube, and you can click over to the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast Facebook page for a link to this iHorror.com article, which includes a link to the show.
Yep, before you know it, we'll have you flying around here in a pointy hat and a pointy bra.
And that's a wrap on your Monday news. Don't forget to connect with the I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast on all mainstream social media outlets, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, listen to our latest feature episode about the film Follow Her, and join me back here this coming Wednesday for more news on another edition of Spill the Guts.
Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Show some fucking respect for the dead, will ya?